Welcome back to Basement Philosophies, where the conversation can go anywhere. Just a disclaimer, I am not a medical doctor, so anything we discuss here is just my Hello, beautiful people. It's Thursday. Is everybody excited? Or are you bummed out like my sister because it's only Thursday? That's what she said. I know people live for the weekends, so I think like Thursdays are like, yeah, Friday's coming. Yes. For me, like, I've told you over and over again, I'm trying to build this life where every day is a freaking weekend. It is the freaking weekend. Sorry. Is that even the song? I don't even know. I don't listen to music all that much. If I do, it's like old 90s country. That's like my jams. But yeah, I'm working on building a different kind of life. And ever since my uncle passed, I'm just like, it has pushed me and kept me on this journey. And I'm like more motivated than ever to create something here that I don't know anybody in my personal life that has. You know, like I still stand by it. I don't think that humans were made to work these 9-to-5 jobs, which it was never 9 to 5 for me. It was like 7 to 5 or 7 to 6, like, or 8 to 5. And it was never 9 to 5. I don't know where that came from. I've never worked those hours. It was like more and earlier than that. Like you go to work, come home, watch your TV, or just, you know, do what you need to for your kids or your family. You're clean, and because, you know, if you're a woman, you're doing those things. It's just the nature of it. And, you know, and then you get this vacation where you get to explore the world 2 weeks out of the year. If you're lucky. That's like if you have the money to do it, which at one point in my life I did, but mostly no, I couldn't go travel or take these beautiful trips, which I definitely want that in my, like now, I want it now, but you know, I'm going to work for it. You know, and then, you know, our creativity, you know, I would sit and just, and think like, I guess I'm just not a creative person. And I am. And I just started declaring it to the world that like, I am a creative person. It's just, maybe I'm not a painter. I love to paint. I love to draw. I mean, you don't have to be great at it to love it. You know, I love doing podcasts. I'm not great at it, but I love it. I love sitting here with my microphone and talking. I just love it. And I don't care who doesn't like it. And I do want to thank everybody there that's with me on this journey. Like, I see you, so thank you. I don't know who you are, of course, but I can see that there's people. And it's just so exciting. Like, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Because this is kind of like a documentary for me, like a journal that I talk. Because I can come back in a year and just be like, wow, look at how far I've come. Like, look at all the stuff that I did. Look how much I've changed. Look how much my life has changed. And my life is already changing all the time. You know, like I have a baby that's about to be here. That's crazy to me. I was like washing baby clothes yesterday and I still can't believe there's a human in me. And I'm so thrilled. And I'm scared, yeah, but I'm still thrilled because I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be an adventure, and kids teach you so much. And I mean, while I'm scared I don't have the mommy gene like most, like I see most people have, it's there though. People assure me that it's there. It's just because, you know, I'm excited, and I love her little clothes, and you know, I'm getting everything together. And I'm just thrilled for her to be here, and I can't wait to meet her. I'm still doing really good. I'm not miserable. I mean, sleeping's hard, but I don't know. I feel great. I'm really, really blessed. I'm really blessed. And, but yeah, I just, you know, we sit around and we think we're not creative, but we are. We're all creative. And I think that one of the most healing things you can do is find out what what you like, kind of. Like, I love to paint. I love to write. I love to draw. I want to cook fancy meals. I want to learn how to cook fancy meals. Like, I want somebody to come over and eat my fancy, meals that I cook and that I learned. You think you have to pick one thing, and you don't. And I think that's what I did my whole life, is that I tried to pick one thing that I loved, because you graduate school and you have to know what you're going to college for. That was the scam, right? We had to go to college right after high school, even if it meant taking out loans, and we had to know what we had to do, which I didn't. So I just went to college and wasted a bunch of money on a degree I don't use. That's why I'm getting my master's degree, which hopefully I'll use. But I'm actually passionate about. And, it's just, and then there you're studying crap you don't need, and all of your aspirations are pretty much beaten out of you. Nobody means it when they say follow your dreams. They say follow the job that's going to pay you so you can get by. It's like you have to find it for yourself. You have to find this place in your mind that you can do anything that you want. I didn't grow up in the household that says be whatever you want to be, even if that thing changes all the time. And I want to do lots of things, and I never ever did them, but now I want to. And I don't know why. I guess you feel like you have to find that one thing, and then you work on that craft, just like an athlete, right? Well, I'm not an athlete, I'm a creative in the sense that I want to do a bunch of different things, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I just think that life is built, our society is built to break us down, and we have to break out of that. And it is my goal, my number one goal, and I will do anything to get there. I cannot imagine going back to doing something that I don't love. And I can't imagine not having something of my own. Just going these big corporations where they don't care about you. They just want you to do as much work as humanly possible. And you're not living comfortably. No, most of you aren't. Most of us are not. And it's time to no. And it's time to break out of that. And like I said, I don't know, I know where I'm headed, but getting there I'm learning as I go. And I love that I can document it, and that all of you can be along for the ride and maybe learn something along the way. I like that I'm not there yet. I'm not coming on here and just telling you, giving you advice. Because I'm just saying, this is what I'm doing now. Let's see if it works, because I don't know if it will. So that's where I am. But I'm, before I kind of felt defeated, I guess, and lost. But now I wasn't excited, but now I am excited. I think true change is available to me. And I'm just looking forward, to those changes. One of the things that I am trying now, and I'm reading this book. I don't know if y'all ever want me to share the book. I read all the time, and I love books, and I've seen it everywhere. Everywhere I go, people are saying, I'll see a message or a sign, and then this book. I was listening to the book, so they said it. They said, for 7 whole days, do not complain. Don't complain. And you could say, I'm tired. I didn't sleep last night. that's a fact. I'm not gonna dwell on it, right? I could say, you know, you don't have to be dishonest. You can state what you're feeling, but don't sit there and complain. So for 7 days, I'm not going to complain. And which I don't think I mean, I have complained, yes, but like when you think of like what I'm more aware of is how much other people complain. And it's like, whoa, you know, it's hard not to like do it with them. You know, I'm like, yeah, I know, like this person did this to me too, or whatever, you know, like, I don't know, whatever you complain about. It's hard not to like do it with them. Like, we all want to vent, you know, but I haven't. It's been like 2 days. No, maybe a day. And I'm just a day and a half. I don't know. And I mean, it kind of helps that I'm mostly alone. But I catch myself, and then I'll not, you know, I'll not keep talking. But people, I just notice how much people complain, like, to me. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to navigate that. But I just listen, and, you know, they get to vent and we move on. So it's kind of cool, you know, having like kind of changing the perspective. So we'll see how that goes. People say it's like life changing, you know, like, and then another thing I want to start doing is they're saying like get in the sun or just get outside. Well, for at least 30 minutes, like as soon as you wake up. And I do take Luna out, but we're out there like super fast. So maybe I can like take my time. I don't take a lot of walks. You know, I am in the city and it's not safe. Oh, like people were getting shot because I have a French bulldog, and what they'll do is they'll like shoot people and steal your dog. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So maybe I'll just stay out there a little longer. And they say the sun doesn't have to be out or anything, but there's this girl I follow on Instagram. I love her. She's so funny. She was a nurse that worked during COVID, saw a bunch of bullshit happening, and kind of quit, which is awesome. But she's hilarious to follow because she's doing like all of these holistic things. And she recently, like, she gets outside in the morning, and she recently like started sunning her butthole for 30 seconds. And then this girl messaged her, and she was like, yeah. She was like, people come over and do Pilates at my house or yoga or whatever. And she's like, and then we all sun our buttholes. And I was like, we should all strive to have a group of girls that we can sun our buttholes with. Like, that's, I think, my new dream. Because I don't have a lot of, you know, girlfriends. I have my very best friend in Georgia, who we don't talk much because she's so busy and she has a family. And then the same, I mean, my friend Nikki here and my sister, like, that's who I have. And well, my mom. But, you know, I need like a group of girls that I can sun my butthole with. I mean, is that too much to ask? And I was always like, oh, I don't have a lot of girlfriends. Yeah, because I was probably annoying, and like all the guy friends I had wanted to sleep with me, and I've come so far. And I was just like, I don't know, I've been craving, you know, just like my feminine side is really coming out. And I don't know if it's the pregnancy or just where I am in my life, but I just miss the companionship of women, and not toxic, let's go get drunk and gossipy women, like real, like women who support you and love you and laugh with you, like, you know, the laughter. I miss it. And it's just been me and my partner for so long. And I mean, no, and I love that, you know, but like we were locked down together, and, you know, we're having this baby together, and it's just, I want something that's mine again. And, I've given up a lot. I've sacrificed a lot, not of me, just of everything really. And I just, nothing against my partner. Like, it's just what worked at the time. But it's like, I need to start making more space for me, for my things, my, all the stuff that I want, because it's always been other people for so long. And yeah, while I do take care of myself, it's just kind of like, I just want to manifest something different. Like, I want a home where both of us fit, our family will fit, like, we're in an apartment and yeah, it's beautiful and it's, we got our stuff, but it's just like, okay, how can I downsize my stuff so I can fit here comfortably? I want a place where everybody fits. I want a place where I can meet these new women, because that's what I want. I want to meet women that are like me, because I've been surrounded by people that aren't. And it's just the same old generic conversations. And it's like I'm done with that. I just want more. I need more. And I don't think there's anything wrong with, asking for more. And I know the universe is doing its work, because when people start to fall away, it's because your energy is changing. Now, it could be for the bad or the good, but I know that I'm doing so much inner work, like so much. And I have been doing so much healing during this pregnancy that I'm only moving forward now. I'm not moving back. Now, I lost a lot of friends probably because I was like a drunk asshole. Like, my mind is so clear now, and I am so sorry anybody that I hurt. Sorry for my drunkenness. Now, everything not my fault, and I am willing to always apologize where I am wrong. That's like a little bit about what I wanted to talk about today, because I was thinking, I was just thinking kind of like about my relationships, all relationships, like romantic ones, marriages, friendships, family relationships. And they all have this common, and people probably know this, but I never really thought about it because, like I've said over and over, I was not like a relationship person. I didn't really cater to any of my relationships, like my friendships. I was just a people pleaser. And I just did whatever anybody needed me to do. And I love to take care of, people. I love to buy gifts for people. I love to be there, to hang out. I love taking care of like my family, everything. I love doing those things, but it needs to be for the right reasons. You don't need to be buying people's love, I should say, or, you want to make sure that it's equal. The exchange is equal. And then like I was asking someone in my life about, her and her boyfriend had just broke up a few months ago. And I was just like sitting here thinking, and she was like, yeah, about what? And I was like, can I ask you some stuff about your relationship? She's like, yeah. I was supposed to be writing a paper and I didn't want to. So it's partly me procrastinating. And I was like, so like this relationship was not an equal exchange. It was more like he took, and she gave and gave and gave until she just could not give anymore. He wasn't a full-blown narcissist, because that's a little different. I've been there. But it was like he just kind of took advantage. And it was like she got fed up, right? And she was just kind of like, fine. I'm putting all of this energy in, and I'm depleted. And she just was done. And she started to like match his energy. And ultimately, of course, when she started to match his energy, all the projections and fighting started. And it just got really hard there for a minute, like really hard. And I think it could have gone one of two ways. Like, I don't know, I guess depending on the couple or the friends or whatever. I think he could have chosen to see his side, but again, you can't make anybody do anything. Or he could have blamed her, things got worse, and then ultimately the relationship ends. And that's exactly what happened. She matched his energy and the relationship ended. Because you cannot be a giver and not receive anything back. And it's one of the things that I've done in my life. Now, a lot of people have fallen away for a lot of different reasons in my life. But there was a time where I'm just like, man, I'm so tired. Like, why am I so tired? Like, physically, I was tired. And then it seems like I was doing like all of this work to make these friendships last. And it was multiple different ones. Like, I would make sure to call them, or like if I hadn't heard from them in a long time, I would be like, oh my gosh, they probably think I suck. Like, let me call them. Let me go see them. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me go, I don't know, like the lengths I went to try to make these people in my life know that I care. And there was not 1 ounce of me that was like, why aren't they calling me? Like, it was all me. It was all my fault. Like, nobody was at fault. It was like, it was all on my plate. It was my job to make sure they were okay, that, but that's not a friendship, right? I mean, yeah, I told you, like, my friend and I, my friend in Georgia and I, we don't talk as much as we used to, but we make it a point to let each other know that we're thinking about each other. Even if it's, we don't talk for a whole month or longer or shorter, whatever. It's just always like, and I feel bad because she's like, I suck as a friend. And I'm like, no, you're still my number one. You're a mother of 3 and you work so much. Like, I don't even know how you're awake right now. You should be sleeping, but to have someone never even acknowledge you, like, just take advantage of your friendship. These are the friendships that I'm talking about. And these relationships, I will say my relationship, not always easy, quite the roller coaster ride, but, he makes his effort on his end and I make mine. And it looks different, but there's an effort being made there, on both of our parts. Even if, it's not exactly what I would imagine or other people would imagine. It's just, there is a, there's a balance there in the sense that, like, we both compromise. We both make sure, like, we're letting each other know that we care about them and love them and we're there for them and we're supporting them, things like that. But like, if it was just me around here doing everything, and I'm not talking like just me giving everything without anything in return, like, it would never work, no matter what, unless he changed, right? And you can't make people change, but thankfully he always comes around. But so, like, my advice to you is to start matching people's energy. Like, I think I told you all this once. Like, it became a part, it was like in my life where I was just like, okay, well, you know what? It sounds manipulative, but it was like, it was an experiment for me. And I was just like, if I don't, do all of the things that I do, how many of these people would still be here? Would they be able to match my energy, or are they going to fall away? Will they step up? Or are they going to fall away? And unfortunately, and it was so sad, I think all of them fell away. And that's okay, because it just wasn't meant to be. Now, I mourn these lost friendships because some of them were really long. And I hated it, but it needed to happen. But like, I'm guilty of it too. Like, I'm not sitting here saying I'm so wonderful that I just, I took away, no, I'm just saying, like, I've done it too. Like, there's one particular person, she came to my baby shower and I wasn't the best friend to her because she came into my life and she's so wonderful and I love her. And she was there when like nobody else really was. It was like right when my sister's husband died, and everybody kind of pretty much runs away when there's something like that happens. But she was like right there making sure me and my sister were okay. She would call, and it got to the point where I just wasn't being a good friend. Like, she deserved a better friend, and I wasn't being one to her. And, I kind of fell out of her life because I wasn't doing what I needed to, to keep her around. Like, she deserved so much more from me, and I wasn't giving it to her. And I kind of fell out of her life. And I made it a point, from now on to show up more for her. Like to show up for her like she was there for me. And you can do that. Like, all friendships aren't work, but like I said, match people's energy. So I could choose to fall away, not give her the same energy, or I can match her energy and be a good friend like she was to me. You see how it works both ways? It's all about the balance. And being a good friend to her just makes me a better person. I'm not giving up anything. And then, I'm blessed with this beautiful human being in my life. It's kind of like that. And that's what I mean by matching people's energy. It's not just about, oh, well, you're being a shitty person, well, let me be shitty too. No, I'm just saying, like, if someone's taking, then stop giving and then see what happens. And sometimes, and it changes. It changes things. Sometimes for the better and sometimes not. Because even in my own relationship, if things aren't going well, it's like maybe my partner does slack off. And I'll communicate, converse, and if communication doesn't work, then I just kind of give him his space to, feel around. And when there's an energy shift, then he can either come to me and talk to me, and we can talk it out, or we can start fighting, and sometimes we fight and we fight it out and then work it out, It's just all about the energy there, and there is a way to work with it. And it sounds, I don't think I'm voicing it right because it sounds like manipulation, but that's not at all what I mean. It just means that, don't give up so much for these people like that aren't doing anything, to enhance your life. I'm not saying you need to have everything from everyone, but if you have, like, what good is a friendship if they just drain you? You don't need these energy vampires in your life. And there is a way to change your own energy. And normally, like, when you shift your own energy, the universe kind of does the work for you. And the right people will start coming along, the wrong people will fall away, and so on and so forth. So I have like, and if this is something that you want to work with, I would say like the first thing on the list to do would be, to figure out what you want in your life. Like, what do you want? Me, I want to build something that's mine. I want freedom in my life. I want independence in the sense that I am free to do, kind of like what I want. And like me and my partner are both giving financially. And if I want to plan a trip for us, I can do that and we can go. And it's like not put all on, my partner. Or if I want to, get a house or build a pool or, I mean freedom in like that sense. And I want my group, like I said, I want my group of friends I can sun my butthole with and laugh or drink wine with, or, talk about kids, whatever. I don't know. Just that kind of freedom. I want, and I want to build something that's mine. I don't want to have to rely on anyone or anything for those kind of things. Maybe I want somebody there to lean on when I'm sad or to listen to me, things like that, but never for like something tangible like that. I don't want, like, I just know that I want to build something for myself that's mine, and I can celebrate that with the people in my life. And I want my friendships to be balanced. I don't want them to be one-sided. And there were so many one-sided friendships, or friendships where I've met a few people since I've lived down here in the city, and it's just been so weird. Like, none of them worked out, and all of them were so vastly different. But one thing they had in common is that they were like emotional dumpers. And I'm guilty of it too, but they would just come to me with their toxic shit every single day, and I would just sit and listen, and I would be like drained. Because, people have drama. Like, it is drama in the city. I think it always will be. But oh God, I'm just thinking about it. Like, these people aren't in my life anymore, but, it's just, I don't know, either they needed something from me or they would just emotionally dump on me. It was rare that people would be like, so how are you doing? But I am guilty of it too. Like, I'm guilty of complaining about my relationship and just kind of dumping that all on someone. But I've since tried to stop doing that. I just get so caught up in my emotions. But it's gotten a lot better, I think. So it's something that I'm working on. But even like my fiance, like, I can see, especially when I met him, like, he will go out of his way to make sure everybody's happy with him. Like, he doesn't like people to be mad at him. He doesn't like to be mad at people. And I noticed like a lot of people in his life were just friends with him because of the connections he had in like his career, and that he could help them get a job, or I don't know. It just seemed like these people were using him, and it would bother me so bad. And I mentioned it one time, and I don't know. I don't know if he didn't notice or didn't care. I don't know, but I was just like, don't get upset over these people that would do nothing for you. They come around when they lose their job or want a new one or need help getting one. Like, that's bullshit. You don't need that. You need better friends. And I don't know. It was my opinion. Maybe I should have stayed out of it. I don't know, but I just had to say something because it was bad. And nobody needs friends like that. I want friends to celebrate my life with, not someone that wants to use me for something. Or I just don't want that. And so that is that's what I'm manifesting in my life, or trying to. I think I've mentioned that manifestation is not my strong point. I don't think I really understand it much. But nevertheless, I am changing, my brain, my perspectives, the way I think about things. So, I know it takes some time to, break old habits and for things to kind of rewire in a sense so that I can attract different things. So in a sense, I'm working through all the residual stuff, and I think that things will really start to change for me. And like, last thing, I think that if you just make sure everything, like, it's all about balance and communication, but balance. And I don't know if you've ever experienced burnout. There is work burnout, caregiver burnout, all kinds of different burnout, right? I'm sure mothers, I've been a bunch of moms that burn out because that's going to be a lot. Excuse me. But my advice would be to do whatever you can to prevent burnout from happening. And if you feel it happening, just do whatever you can to make sure that you are not in a state of burnout. Because I will tell you right now, it was one of the hardest things for me to kind of recover from. My body broke down. I got really sick. I developed rage. Remember when I told you about my rage problem? I developed that. It was like a symptom. And I oh my God, I would just drink and go crazy. I went nuts like a couple times, like embarrassing. I was just, oh my God, I couldn't cope with anything. Oh my gosh. I even feel like shame now and so guilty, but I shouldn't to that extent because I was burned out. I didn't know what that even was. And you cannot live that way. You will get sick physically, mentally, and when I see people on the verge of that, one of my friends, I know she's on the verge of that. And I said, you have to change something. Like, you cannot keep going like this because the world will make you rest no matter like how that happens. And it probably won't be good. Like, like a lot of people have a common belief that when people are sick, like when you develop a sickness, it is your body telling you it's time to rest and you need to lay down and you need to do nothing because you're burned out. So my advice is to avoid it at all costs because it is so hard to break out of. I don't know if any people listening are like heavy drinkers. It was something that I used to cope, and it was just something that I did because there was no reason not to. Like, I know that sounds sad, but it's true. And it's like a cycle where I would drink and I would be hungover. In my hangover, I'd say, I'm not doing that anymore. I had to change. I would recover, feel better, have a drink again. Just because there was no reason not to, like I said. And I just do it all over. It was like an endless cycle. And I could not break out. What broke me out is getting pregnant. And I could minimize it and say, yeah, it took, it's not real change because you got pregnant and then you stopped. It's not like you stopped because you had the willpower, right? But the truth is like, I could still be drinking, if I wanted. But I was hungry for change. I wanted change. But this like grip was on me. And I didn't know how to get out of it. It was kind of scary because, at least when I'm pregnant and I don't drink, nobody asks. Nobody's like, why aren't you drinking? And that's really weird. And then you're like, oh, okay, fine, I'll have a drink. But when you're pregnant, nobody asks because you're pregnant, and it made it easier to quit. And that sounds sad, but now my head's clear and I just know I'm so clear about who I want to be now and like how much better I can feel. And I know I can feel even better. We live in a society that doesn't exactly make us healthy. We had to go to extreme measures to make ourselves healthy. And like, I just know like which way I want to go, where I'm headed. Like, I want to be the best mom for my little girl. I do. And I want to be happy. I don't want to be moody. And I wake up in the mornings and I take, Luna out, and especially on beautiful, clean, clear mornings. Like this morning was one. And I just walked outside and I know I'm in the city, but I still the sky was beautiful. The air was clean. And I was just like, my gosh, I really love mornings. And I've never been a person to love mornings, mostly because I hated my life, right? So my goal is to still have a life, still do things, still create things, have a life, an abundant life, but to continue to love morning. Like, I want to be excited when I wake up in the morning, and I am getting there. And I am getting there. And I loved that I woke up and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love mornings. Like, I love them because I haven't said that in forever. I used to my alarm would wake me up and I would cry because I just didn't want to do another day. It was miserable. and that sounds bad, but I didn't want to live. Like, you're just coasting through another day. It's awful. And it is my dream and my goal to change my life. It's like I declared it to the world, and it's going to happen one way or the other. I don't know how, I don't know when, but it's happening. I hope you all are doing so well. I hope you're finding new ways to take care of yourself. Just start little. That is going to be my forever advice, is to start small. That's what I did. And now I'm looking at, like, I kind of started switching my foods around. I said it before, but I just look at simpler ingredients, things like that. And I'm just making my small changes each and every day. And I'll implement more things when the baby comes. But for now, I'm resting and making sure everything's good for her. And then when she's here, then we can start messing around with some new stuff. I hope you're all doing well, and I can't wait to talk to you next week. Please contact me if you have any questions, anything you want to talk about. I'm here. basementphilosophies.com is my website. You can see some articles there. You can contact me there. My podcast is even on there. And then, but you can email me directly with any questions or concerns. basementphilosophies@gmail.com. And if there's any way I can pray for you, please let me know, and I will make that happen. I love you so much. Bye.